See, we'll dig up old. We'll be with you in just a second. We've got to find our wayward commissioner here.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Well, while we're waiting, I'll first of all do a little welcome, and then also introduce some folks that are here on the front and out there. We've got some new folks, but we're all also, this meeting is always recorded, and you can pick it up later. But I wanted to introduce. Well, let me do that after we do our pledge and our prayer, and we can get that squared away. Hello, sir. So, Kenny would be at the prayer. Do we have any veterans here today? Would you lead our pledge, please? And I'm sorry, you want to introduce yourself?
Kevin Rowland with Banning Engineering.
And what branch of service did you serve?
United States
Marine Corps.
Semper Fi boy, huh? All right. Would you lead our pledge, please?
You bow your heads, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we just want to acknowledge you as being the great creator of this whole universe, Lord. We want to thank you for this planet, and we want to thank you that we have the opportunity to live in a free country, Lord. We just ask that you please be with all of our emergency service, whether it's law, fire, or EMS. Just give them that protection that they need and put your armor around them, Lord. We ask that you please be with our men and women that's protecting our freedom around this world, Lord. Just give them that protection that they need so badly, especially this time, Lord, when there's such an uprest everywhere. Please be with the family of the 3 lost ones that just lost their life here in the attack here last week, Lord, and also the family that lost the 2 of the Navy SEALs, Lord. We just ask that you let us do your work today and ask for your wisdom and your knowledge, making sure that we're doing what's pleasing not only for the taxpayers, but especially you, Lord. We thank you for your Son and ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
I want to introduce to you, both for the people that can't see our guests today and you folks, but I want to introduce at least the front table here so that you know who you're talking to and what we're up to. On my left is our assistant administrative person, our gal Friday.
The administrative queen.
There you go. Deb Verley, and she's just keeps us going. Next to her is Linda Pruitt, our auditor, and she makes sure the numbers fit for what the council does and what we do. Next to me is Commissioner from District 1, which is this part of the county, but we are voted on by the whole county, but Brian Collier. And on my...
Real quick, and if you have
I
a
knew there'd be
compliment or something, Deb's got my number, and if you have a complaint, my number's the same as whatever Kenny's is.
Oh, thank you. I was afraid you were going to tell my number. And this is Kenny Hale, District 2, which is the bulk of the county, really. It's all done by population. For most people don't know how the system works, but in reapportionment every 10 years, we have to have the districts of the council being different, being, I guess you say, pretty close to equal within a certain percent, and we've got that accomplished a couple years ago. On Kenny's right is our counselor, Ann Cowgirl, and she's welcome. This is her second meeting, but she's done a lot of work in between meetings, and we're glad to have you on our team. So,
Thank you.
And I'm Don Adams with District 3, which is the northern part of the county, and that's the group up here. Out here in our audience, we'll not go through all fine people that are, oh, wait, better say my Josh Messmer, our county administrator, who is very, very important. Oops, I'm sorry, and I thought I had my phone off. Makes little noises. So let's get started with today's meeting. Our new business, we have, first thing we have is 3 different sets of minutes from November the 6th, then the January 2nd and January 16th. I hope you've had a chance to review those. And if you have any questions or a motion, I'll accept that.
Brian Collier makes the motion that we accept the minutes as presented for our 3 meetings, October 16th, January,
6th.
I'm sorry, 6th, January 2nd, and January 16th. November 6th. I'll
Yeah,
modify that.
November 6th, January, and both the 2nd and the 16th. We have a motion to accept those. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions on those? All in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. We have the next item we have is some claims from the auditor's office. I'm informed that there's no holds on the claims. I'll entertain a motion to deal with the claims.
Makes a motion, we approve the claims in the amount of $7,562,956.36. Total payroll claims is $5,502,160.09.
Before I second that, I had a question and I forgot. What was that for? Josh? But it's not the other. It's not the other.
Mark it as pending and don't approve it until we verify.
Because we're still we're still looking for the other, right?
I would exclude that particular one unless it's valid.
There's one claim on here that I'd like for us to hold up until we find out if it's for plan commission or for other services rendered.
Okay. So you want to approve the claims except for that one? And,
That one would be Foley and Peden for $3,000.
okay, got it.
I'd like to hold that one out.
I understand.
Not for Mr. Peden, Planning Commission Attorney.
If that's where that goes, then I'll approve it. If it's going elsewhere, we will.
Laura can satisfy that real fast.
That one's going to them? Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm fine with the motion, then I will second then.
Okay. So you accept you made a motion to accept the
Yes.
claims as presented?
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you for the carefulness of looking at those claims. There's a lot. When you get $7 million worth of claims, that's kind of important to look that over.
Yep.
Kenny, did I hear a second? Or no?
I made the motion.
Oh, you made the motion? I'm
I'm the
sorry.
second.
I'm sorry.
And
I
with
missed that.
with that clarity, thank you, Laura. I'm good with this.
All right. We've had a motion to approve and a second to approve the claims as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Do we need those signed now? Okay. Next item on our agenda is an introduction of the ordinance 24-3. It's an update to the flood damage prevention ordinance, which is an update from an ordinance that existed back about 10 years ago, actually. So this is an introduction. Laura,
Yeah, good morning.
good morning.
Morning.
Sun is shining, so it's a good day to talk about flood damage prevention, right?
Yep.
So as Commissioner Adams said, we have an ordinance that most recently was adopted in 2014, and we now have a need to do some updates. There are going to be some new firm maps coming out later this year, and the state DNR reviewed our existing ordinance, and as they are for everybody, and they proposed a few changes in addition to the title. So that's what you had in your packet, was a copy of the new ordinance, completely replacing the old one. The information is basically the same with a few additions, which in your packet I highlighted for you in red and yellow to show you the differences. I also included for you a table of contents between the existing ordinance and the proposed one, just so you could see how some of the information mostly was just slightly reorganized. So I think it was very clarifying in the changes that they made, and so just wanted to present this to you for your review, first reading, and then hopefully at the next meeting we can look at adoption, unless you have some questions.
You want a first reading on this now?
It doesn't have to be, but I know that you didn't get this until last week, so if you want more time to review and digest it, that's fine.
Gentlemen here like to do. I will be recusing myself. Is that the right word?
Recusing?
Using.
Vote. How's that? Simply because I have a financial interest in some of the wording in here. I've got a piece of property that might be filled, and I stand to profit on that, and I don't want to get my feet wet and that kind of stuff. So I'll be stepping aside on the vote. I signed it. Oops, I signed it in 10 years ago. Probably didn't know I had it.
Yeah.
But we weren't making.
That's fine.
It didn't look like it was going to affect the financial interest of it, but it does now. So I'm stepping aside on it.
Kenny, as I read through this, I thought of you. 'Cause this is more up your bailiwick from your past experience, and I only fell asleep twice reading it.
Glad I could be helpful.
I thought in the insurance industry, we had acronyms and
Oh, yeah.
abbreviations.
Yeah.
Because the LMOA and the LOMR goes next to the LOMF.
You got it, it's
We
alphabet
need a
soup.
dictionary of
Yeah.
acronyms,
Yeah.
I swear to
Wow.
God.
But I got in trouble at the drainage board. I believe in full transparency, and I got in trouble with legal counsel up here at the drainage board because I was gonna make Don throw in some donuts, and now that he's expressed that he's not voting for this, I'm still looking for my donuts. I don't care if we entertain the first reading. I've read through it. We have to have two readings, right?
Correct.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you found corrections, because honestly, this was a little bit over what I'm used to reading.
I'd go ahead and thank Laura for doing this, but go ahead and just take it under advisement to our next meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
I'm good with
Thank
that.
you for introducing it, Laura.
Thank you very much.
Laura, thank you for the work they've been doing on this.
Can you get this in audio version for my Kindle? Yeah, there's no pictures.
Hang on a second. The next item on our business, or on our agenda on new business, is the technical design standards from our county engineer.
Good morning, everyone. Last meeting, I came to you with our finalized version of the technical design standards as proposed. Just to touch back on that, I've reviewed the standards and sat down with both our planning director and county surveyor to review them. We're all in agreement that they are fit to proceed. I believe Ms. Cowger has prepared an ordinance to adopt these standards. If you all have a copy of that, just wanted to know if you have any questions for our first reading.
Pretty technical for a non-engineer reading that, but I do appreciate the pictures. He gave me pictures to look at.
Yep.
Kenny?
Go ahead and make a motion. We pass ordinance number 2024-2, ordinance adopting the implementation of Morgan County technical design standards for the highway department.
I will second that, and hopefully, as a newer commissioner, this answers. You'd be amazed how many phone calls I get on people wanting me to bring in their road, their drive, and make it a county so it'll get paved, but it is so far off of standards that there's no way. And when you tell them about the standards, that's why you issue bonds when you build neighborhoods, and you make sure that your roads are up to snuff before they get turned over. So I'll gladly second this.
We have a motion and a second to approve these, this agreement, or this, well, I guess you'd say the ordinance on technical design standards. Any further questions from us or the audience?
I'm just want to make sure we're following whatever formalities we need to if you're passing it on first reading. I mean, technically,
I didn't waive the second reading.
okay, all right.
Are you wanting to waive the second reading? I don't see us changing it.
Not
You wanna amend your
necessarily,
motion?
but I just gotta let it go on through till next one, but
Well,
Justin
you-
loves to come see us.
We don't have to waive it. I mean,
I may have misunderstood what you said, Commissioner Ham.
You're good.
We're just doing the first reading? Okay. Okay. All right, motions for the first reading for this ordinance on technical design standards. Thank you, Ann, for pointing that out. And the second reading will come up at our middle of the month meeting. All in favor of the motion, say aye. 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 Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Now, before you get away from us here, Mr. Snick, for all of you in our audience, we have Mr. Snick, you started back in what, September?
August 28th was day one.
August the 28th, almost September.
That's right.
And one of the things that we encourage in our growth of Morgan County is bringing people back. And you're going beyond that and adding another Schneck to the county. Is that correct?
That is correct, Don. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, and we're looking forward to the happy day.
Well,
So,
thank you very much. I
thank you
appreciate
and
that.
your wife.
will this be?
This will be my first.
Well, congratulations.
Yep,
Well,
and
you
I-
know, give him a job, and what's he do?
That's right. We did just learn 2 weeks ago it's going to be a boy, so we're really pumped. So, yep, thank
The
you.
future engineer.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Thank
and
you. Must be an
Congratulations to
engineering
you. Next item on the new business is our Bot 3 agreement. This is the build, operate, transfer for you folks. We're right in the middle of a huge project that's been going on, and this is, I won't say the final bot, but it's the big one. So,
Yeah.
Josh, you want to share with us?
I will. So as you indicated, this is the BOT, which it stands for Build, Operate, Transfer. That's the same process we're using to build the judicial building right outside that everybody saw. And this bot agreement is specifically for the historic courthouse. As you all are aware, but the public may not be, we close on the financing this week. I believe on the 8th is the actual closing of bonds for the next part of the project. This bot agreement is the third one that you gentlemen will have signed. It's identical except for the project description as to all of them. Cam Starnes reviewed them for us like he has the other ones. Ann also took a quick peek at it since she's on board with us now. What this will do, we have the judicial building is expected to be completed July 1st with operations commencing on August 1st of 2025. And this project is expected to be completed February 28th of 2027 with the operations commencing March 31st. So that's what this lays out for us is our expectations for the developer and all of our contractual obligations.
Do we have any questions from the Commissioners, or a motion.
I make the motion that we accept the build, operate, transfer agreement, Morgan County Government Center, Phase 3.
Second.
Discussion. I just want to point out to the people in this, that aren't here, and to you folks, this is probably, I think the first one to use the term investing in ourselves was Commissioner Collier. But this is going to be 100 years of improvement that was needed. And it's a minor thing, just standing here and proving an agreement. But when we do that, we're seeing a future for that new Mr. Schnick that's going to show up, and my grandchildren and your grandchildren. So I just want, it's such a item of business that means so much. So all in favor of this motion to approve this agreement, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes thankfully and gladly, 3-0.
The public will need to be aware of what these plans are. I think Joe's here to do something about what's going to happen on the square in future years, whether it's Awful Woods Festival or any number of things that happen on the square are going to be impacted by it, including the parking that's currently available around inside the square. That'll be impacted as well. So everybody needs to think ahead and plan.
Thank you, Mr. Oaks. And, you know, I want to congratulate the city and us for being so cooperative and working together for this large impact, huge impact. It's been always unanimous, even in the council and the cooperation, and I couldn't say enough good about the way we've worked together for the benefit of the people of this county. So, thank you. Did we vote? I think we did, or? Yes. we
But
voted.
does Mr. Disney have a comment on?
He's here
This-
for later in the meeting.
Okay.
Are you ready for the next item?
Okay.
These are your annual contracts. There's the Hilldale Cemetery Association, Morgan County Connect, Socoa, Aging and In-Home Solutions, Morgan County Fair and 4-H Association, and Sycamore Services and the Humane Society. These contracts are unchanged from previous years, both in terms of the contract and dollar amounts.
We have 4 contracts, is that correct? I think it would be beneficial for the people and the community and the paper to know exactly what we do. We've done this every year, but Hillsdale Cemetery, I asked the question some time ago, what are we paying the cemetery for? But that's what the county uses when we have a need for a cemetery. And there's too many times we have to do that. So it's just been an annual agreement with the cemetery on that. The Sycamore Services is working, it's actually in Plainfield, but they've been working with, and there's 2 agreements here that deal with them. One is, where did I see it?
Morgan County Connect.
Connect and Sycamore Services work for transportation. I think it's beneficial to, I've always had a problem with the transportation because they don't cross county lines very, very easily. They're working on that. But what this does is provide transportation for seniors going to the doctor, and if they want to just go shopping, Sycamore Services is a provider of transportation. It's about, it's an on-call. You have to call and make arrangements, but they don't have a route. But for folks that are needing transportation to get to the doctor or go for some other purpose, that's what we're making a I guess you'd say, taking our funds and ensuring that. And it's, the total amount is around 100,000. It's 54,000 for one and 47 for the other as far as both agreements, but they both work together with Sycamore Services. So that is one of the other, two of the contracts we're looking at. We also have a SEQOA, which I believe that provides Meals on Wheels, if I'm not correct, or if I'm correct. And that's another service that we're providing to the folks that a lot of people aren't aware that county government works for that kind of purpose. And then the other one is the Morgan County Fair, which is going to be, I don't have the dates on it in my mind right now. We've had a little rough time last year or two. Yes, Rena? The what? July 5th to the 13th, so it's fairly early. And
No pun intended, fairly early.
that was bad. So, but we have a contract with them for an amount of $125,000, which keeps that operation afloat. I will say, since I'm taking an opportunity here, that following the fair, early August, we're going to have the Wall of Remembrance is going to be at the fairgrounds. They're cooperating with the group here in our county that's going to have the Wall of Remembrance as a model of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. We're the only city in Indiana this year that's going to have that, and it's going to be quite a nice event. I hope you all get a chance to come over and see it, come down and see it. But that's going to be at the fairgrounds. So another utilization, and it gets used year-round, really, for a lot of variety of things. So it's a service to the county in a variety of different ways, but that's one of the other agreements in our contract. So we have those agreements that I just mentioned that we pay annually, but you can take them separately or together if you have any comments.
I don't know if you
Oh, I
mentioned
did.
the
Did I
animal
mention
control.
animal control? Ooh, I better mention that one.
One.
Let me, I'm sorry, it's the next owner. We have an agreement with the animal control, which is, we're going to have to work on that whole program and problem. It's on our agenda, but we do finance the animal control service within our county and there's also municipalities also contribute. Mooresville and Martinsville have a program, but we need to kind of, we're going to work on smoothing out some ripples that we can make that service, I guess you'd say, more complete. And it's a growing problem, COVID related. Everybody bought an animal and had an animal, and then all of a sudden they don't need it. So it's causing some concern. But our contract right now with the Morgan County Humane Society is in the neighborhood, and not in the neighborhood, it's $164,706. So that's what we're currently financing for in this agreement. I'm sorry, I missed that one. And there's another $18,000 for emergency services on animals. So roughly, we're looking at, not roughly, but pretty close to $182,000. So that's part of this
A
contract.
few of these together. I make the motion, we approve the Hilldale Cemetery Association in the amount of $1,550, as well as the Morgan County Fair and 4-H Association in the dollar amount of $125,000. Animal Control in the amount of $164,706, and Animal Control for Emergency Service Agreement in the amount of $18,000.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion from us? Any discussion from our folks out in the community here. All in favor of the motion, and Kenny, I won't ask you to repeat it, but I think Deb's caught it down there. Say aye. Aye, and the motion passes 3-0, and thank you.
I'm getting ready to do the others. Make a motion, we go ahead and approve Sycamore Service in the amount of $54,000. I'm gonna do these individually.
Okay. Sycamore Services in the amount of, I'm sorry, I missed that, was not part of the original motion.
$54,000.
54,000? Is that what was written for us? Is that what we've done in the past?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have a second?
I'm going to abstain on this one.
Oh, that's right. I understand. I'll second the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Go ahead and make a motion.
One abstention.
Make a motion to the 2024 agreement for Morgan County Connect in the amount of $47,000.
Again. A motion been made and seconded on the other Sycamore Service contract. Any questions on that one? Thanks for straightening that one out, Kenny. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Last one, Alcoa Aging and In-Health Solution in the amount of $11,000.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded for the Secoa Aging and In-Home Solutions, which I mentioned before. Been made and seconded. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Okay,
I just,
go ahead.
real quick to bring, Josh and I had the opportunity, was that last week? My days go together, to meet with a couple representatives from the Humane Society. I know, having been on the council for a long time, the contracts that were just presented really haven't had adjustments in years. I mean, we've been given $125,000 to the fair since, I can't tell you how long. It used to be 100, and then one year we went to 125, and that was probably 15 years ago.
Yeah, when me and you went on the council in '99, it was only $75,000.
Okay, so they've done a good job. We can show to the public why we support these organizations, because they provide critical things to our community. But the Humane Society, upon that presentation, I was humbled in my education, or I should say my lack thereof. You know, we always get thrown out that other surrounding counties contribute a lot more than we do, but they have a lot bigger tax base. It's not an excuse, it's a fact. But with that said, two of the people that, at the Humane Society that are putting in the most hours are all volunteers. And so they have some definite problems that will need our help through rewriting some ordinances. We met, the city of Martinsville was also with us. We're gonna try to get a blanket ordinance that covers just about every entity. That way there's some uniformity, and when people get a dog picked up, they'll know what the rules are. And it won't matter that right now the rules are different between Martinsville, the county, Morgantown, Farragut, you know, everybody's got different rules. So we need to work on that, and then we need to look at some of the outliers. I know the city gives them money, and I know we give them money, and I think they got it worked out. Was it Morgantown that they? Mooresville. That started getting on the same page. So I think in our positions as commissioners, we need to get on top of that, because as the song goes, who let the dogs out? Well, after COVID, it seems like just about everybody.
And cats.
And cats. And cats. Yeah, I went on a fire run in the city the other day, and there must have been, I won't tell you how many cats there were. There was a ton. So
We need to work on getting an adoption program more complete. I don't know what they do, but I do agree we need to have a review of where we are and where we need to be. And with the prosecutor and the sheriff and other folks to put this
we definitely need
rest for a while.
per that conversation, we definitely need to get the sheriff's department and the prosecutor at the table so that we're all on the same page.
I agree, and I want to make a big thanks to Rich, Sheriff, for your help in taking care of some problems with the Humane Society out there in my district, and I can't thank you enough for that, because, I mean, when you got dogs starting to pack, roaming, killing cows, it's way past the time to do something, folks. So I appreciate that, Rich. Thank Lance and the Humane Society for all they did. And you still got an ongoing problem at Briarwood with animals too, just so you know, Sheriff. Same
with
thing.
what? I didn't hear what you.
You got the same animal problem going on in Briarwood right now as well, so. Except dogs are chasing kids on the bus, to the bus.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have our work to do, and that's going to be on our agenda for this year for sure. Address it.
Yeah, especially the Humane Society, because I feel like
Absolutely.
we've kind of, with their change in leadership a couple times, and we just haven't been on the same page. So I'll take the blame for that, but after that presentation, we have to do something. It's not, we will do something, we have to do something.
I think we all have a responsibility to address this as a Board of Commissioners in working with the council best we can to address it. We can't throw the bucks at it that they do in Hamilton County. They were talking to a group, we don't have Hamilton County money, but we do have enough that we ought to be able to address it a little better. So we'll put that on the list of to-dos. Any other remarks or questions here before we move on to the next item? We also have on the agenda here a farm lease agreement. And is there anything that we should be aware of here?
Well, there are several existing farm leases that it appears are up for a period of renewal. Looks like they're 3 years. And as we will do in the future, we don't automatically roll those over. We require rebids. And then I took a fresh look at the contract and decided there was some language that probably needed to be put in from a legal perspective. I listened to a request from Commissioner Collier with respect to a substantive provision to make sure that there's an ability, if there were a need or if it was found to be in the best interest of the county, to terminate midterm in the agreement under specific reasonable terms. And so put together a copy for your consideration. There are several leases, but the run line that you received to review has all the substantive changes in it because they're identical. The only differences in the farm agreements are the terms, like whether it's a lump sum cash payment or a percentage of gross profits on crops, the names, the amounts, and so forth. So the substantive provisions are in the red line, and the only difference from one lease to the next is the specific details as to each particular plot and owner, or renter. Okay.
Thank you, Ann.
So we'll bring all of those to the next meeting unless we hear feedback that there's substantive changes that you all would like to see different. So we'll bring them either way, and then between now and next meeting, if you say, hey, no, we need to add this or change that, just let us know.
If everyone here would like to know a little bit about Commissioner Collier's background and why I do numbers, if you would see all the red that Ann put into this paperwork, this reminds me of all my essays in college. Our house mom was a retired English teacher, and for Christmas, the only thing she asked for from me was a package of 10 red Bic pens. It looked just like this.
Has worked with me long enough to know that I exercised restraint in my modification.
Thanks for that
Just
flashback.
long.
We will review that and get back with you, but I'm sure it's a lot better than what we were doing, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's not easy keeping Kenny out of trouble.
Kenny,
Yeah. You know, I never get in trouble.
Okay. Old business or table business, I don't see any.
We still got engagement letters on the appraisals.
Letters and purchase agreement.
I must have the wrong agenda. I think I got another, I'm sorry. I did get another agenda, but I put it in the wrong spot, so I'm sorry.
No, you're good. we're a team.
Engagement letters, appraisals, all right. Sorry about that.
Yes, so this is for, you all know we have an issue with recycling, and it's on a temporary hold. We're looking to identify land that's centrally located within the county that could be fenced in. This is a property off of 67 that might be a good candidate for that. So this is we have to get some commercial appraisals. So this is a proposal from BLN for 2 appraisals, one from them, and they'll sub the other one out because we have to get the average 2 appraisals. I will say, we've worked with them a number of times. We've always had good pricing. I wasn't overly thrilled with the pricing for these 2. It was $6,000 a piece. I think that's a little high. I do think that they've been fair to us. They seem to think that this one was going to require a little bit more effort than some of the others. So with that caveat, I just want to make sure that we were all clear if you guys decide to approve this, that I do think it's a tad high.
I know there's been 4 recent, and not recent, I'm using that pretty literal, they're very wide. It's in the last 4 or 5 years. You've got 4, 3 of them being commercial, 1 being agricultural sales on the corridor. It's gonna really help them, I think, and that's really, till you get all the way up to Black Dog, I mean, that's, for the area, that's all you're gonna find right there, so. I don't think it's gonna take them that long to do it.
So what we're looking for here is approval of these engagement letters.
To get the appraisal, we can't start any kind of negotiations until we have appraisals in hand.
Well, let's,
Kenny Hill makes a motion, we approve with Beam Longus and Neff to do the 2 commercial appraisals.
I'll second.
motion's been made and seconded to approve the Beam Longus and Neff with these appraisals. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 It looks like it's on fire.
Yeah, well, fireman's always looking for smoke, I swear. So, you got a problem over there?
I've never noticed that in the 30 years I've sat here.
Well, you want to go back there and watch it, or you want to call?
Just a little fire.
Is there a vent or something?
I didn't see it.
I think there is.
What is it?
Is that what? Okay.
What?
Exhaust vent, but
Really?
maybe their generator, it's Monday.
Okay.
On your next
We
item.
have we voted on this?
Yes. On the appraisals? Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. A fire got in the way.
On the radio equipment, so this is something that you all budgeted, the council budgeted last year. You all have passed a resolution to do a special acquisition. All the justification was in there. There is some contractual language we want to put in this, so we don't need to take action on this today. We'll bring it back at our next meeting. But Ann wants to have the vendor add some language into the purchase agreement.
So we're just tabling it?
Yep.
I'll make the motion that we table.
Second.
Second? It's been made and seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0 to table. Now, looks to me like all the items in the new business. Am I missing something?
No, you're good.
Okay. Old business, we've not got anything that we've tabled. Other business, request to use space outside the courthouse.
Joe's here. Mr. Joe Disney.
Joe
Morning,
Disney.
gentlemen.
Hi,
Joe
Joe.
Disney. I'm here to ask to use the space outside the courthouse on Thursday nights from 5 till 9 p.m. for the old car cruise-in.
If anyone's not had the opportunity to go down on those Thursday nights, it is kind of neat to have a little bit of a historical flashback to some of the vehicles that are brought into there. Very nice. Take the opportunity on a And they got some very pleasant evenings. Now, in July, it gets a little bit warm. I've been down there, but it's nice just to go down. There's several people and walk around, look at the cars and
We usually average between 60 and 75 cars on Thursday night.
It's a nice one.
I think what we enjoy the most is seeing the young families come, park, and then get out and walk around and just let their children look at the cars.
Joe, I think that would work real well. One of those Thursday evenings is when we're going to have the Wall of Remembrance out at the fairgrounds. So it would be good to, I think it would be a nice event to combine and let them come down and see the show and then go out and visit the Wall of Remembrance. So I think you could work together. I mean, that's one of the 2 nights it's open, or 3 nights it's going to be open. So I encourage you guys to, we'll find a way to,
And we're always approached by people that's wanting to have us be involved in something they've got on Thursday nights. I know that I've talked to Vicki Kivett about having some of the participants come down to the History Museum. It's really nice to be able to work with other community members.
Yep.
well, that'd be great. And if you can find somebody that wants to take 3 old Corvairs and make one good one out of it, I'm your man. I'd love to have that
I'll
thing
keep
running
that in
again.
mind.
We'll get, you know, there's not such a thing as a one Corvair owner. They just don't exist. You've got to collect them.
You gotta have parts cars.
Yeah, we do, and I've got 3 parts and one, you can't see them from the highway, Laura. I hit them with bales of straw and hay and weeds.
Kenny Hill makes a motion, we approve the request to use the courthouse on Thursday evening for the cruise-in.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the outdoor space around the courthouse on Thursday nights from April to what,
End of October.
October? Thank you, Joe. And all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, Joe.
I do ask, as we move forward with stuff going on at the courthouse, as we start construction, to either let myself or Brad Rowe know, so we can make plans
Yep.
for another place to have our cruisings if we need to.
H&R Block,
I don't know.
H&R Block, Brian's always got around.
Thank you again.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
One last thing.
One last thing. I saw that. What is this?
Roads in Timberlake Estates.
What's this, what's cooking?
Just boring these, getting these, trying to take these in. I'm gonna let Justin go over for you.
All right, Justin, what's cooking here?
Commissioners, I've laid a packet before you. It's got a few pages with some maps and some coring locations of some pavement cores we've taken, along with the pictures of those cores. This is regarding Timberlake Woods. It's a subdivision off the south side of Egbert Road out near Fire Station Road. Just a little background, several months ago, the HOA reached out to me and asked what it would take to bring these roads into our network. They've also approached the Plan Commission around that same time, so they are aware of this too. At that time, I responded to the HOA that certain criteria would need to be met as far as the roadways meeting our standards before we would take them in. I've reviewed them geometrically and for the typical cross-section of the roads, and they all seem to be adequate. The 3 other stipulations that I put before the HOA were they would need to pay for pavement cores to be taken and to show that they would meet our existing standard depth. The curbs and gutters need to be visually inspected to ensure that they perpetuate drainage as planned, and that the storm sewers needed to be inspected via sewer cam to ensure that they were in good working order. The curbs I checked out, they were in good condition. The homeowners association sewer cammed all the storm sewers. They're found to be in good working order. And just last Thursday, we took pavement cores of the roads, and 3 of the 4 legs in the subdivision met our 4-inch requirement for pavement depth. The one leg that did not meet the requirement was the small leg with the cul-de-sac located in the northeast quadrant, and it was only 3.5 inches. Although it does not meet this depth, it has held up to the traffic since it was installed. Just a little history, this subdivision was the plat was approved back in 2005, and that's when construction began immediately after in increment segments as homes have been developed within the subdivision. Generally, the roads are in good condition where they meet all the standards. However, my one concern is with the construction happening well back from 2006 incrementally over the years, they are a bit aged and deteriorated to take into our inventory. If we were to take them in, we would ask that the HOA or, help with crack sealing the roads to help prolong their life before a treatment would inevitably be needed by the highway department if we take them into our inventory. To further complicate matters, on the two roads heading south out of the subdivision, right now they are incomplete. There is another subdivision proposed before the Plan Commission. It is Timberlake Waters, which I believe is a 27 to 29 lot, somewhere in their subdivision that is planned to be built attached to this. That was a lot. So with that, I've inspected all the roadways and found that they generally meet the standards. I know Kenny has been an integral part of these discussions, being with the Plan Commission. They are looking for us to take them into our roads. We don't have a deed of dedication drafted up right now to formally take these in, but I just wanted to bring this information before you with my, inspection results for your consideration.
You think that's a lot? Wait till you have a baby that keeps you up all night.
Yep. Well, I like the report, and especially since it's got pictures.
Yeah, I love pictures.
But I'm confused on this one picture, number 3. It just shows 3 inches on the core.
Yes, so when we core the road, they take a core bit that's maybe 6 inches in diameter, and that's the diameter of the core. Well, it turns out the surface layer had twisted off from the binder layer, and it got stuck up in the core bit. We didn't see that until after the fact, so the bottom 2 pictures, we dug out the cold mix from the patch and took the final depth of the core, and it is indeed 4 inches with 1 inch of surface.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So
Long
what
time
we,
coming.
go ahead, Kenny.
And I, since you kind of introed, I know no one that lives out, I'm sure I know somebody that lives out here, but I don't want to, because I like when I can make decisions and they don't have names, and in a one-horse town, that's hard to do. So I don't have a problem with this, and a little bit of the backdrop that this was submitted, is my understanding, it was submitted before and kind of got pushed to the side, and some of that falls back on us. So thank you for getting that to the forefront and addressing this. This should have been addressed probably at least a year ago. So I have no problem with this.
Kenny Hill make a conditional approval, one on the deed of dedication, the other one that the HOA is responsible for 100% of the crack sealing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, and I won't repeat it, but HOA is going to be responsible. That's the one thing we wanted to hear. And then you'll get that deed of dedication all squared away.
Yes,
All in favor of the motion, say aye. 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 Thank you, Justin.
thank you.
Laura, thank you as well for your part into this, and also if I could ask a small, little bit of service, if we could get the minutes for that section 2, I'd love to see them, because that's been a day or two since that's happened, so.
Yes, sir.
Steve Clymer, it's a matter of public safety. I've contacted the Morgan County Highway Department, and it was last year, about trying to get some new lines and put on Baltimore Road. It poses a hazard because coming down there, especially when it's dark or rainy, you can't, and plus also, there's no shoulder on that road. And a lot of the pavement is breaking away. There's actually in areas, there's no place to put a white line on the side. I mean, that's,
And what was your name, sir?
Steve Clymer, I live out by the
Okay.
old
I'm sorry, I
schoolhouse.
just didn't hear it.
Steve
really.
Clymer.
Nice to meet you,
60,
Steve.
I live on 6015 Wilbur Road.
Okay.
And also, there's a culvert that runs right across there. I mean, I'm sure you
I know right
are
where it's
familiar
at.
with it. I called the Morgan County Highway about that because it was breaking apart.
Yes.
And the culvert had partially collapsed. And so I called the county highway department about that last year. And their answer to that was they came out and threw about 20 fist-sized rocks down in there, which they washed down in there, closed the culvert out. Now the water's going across the road, and it's compromising the soil underneath the road. And it's going, I mean, there's been several people that have run off there, and fortunately, no one's got hurt seriously. Been a lot of property damage, but I just thought I'd bring that before you guys and see
That
if there was.
culvert's near your address?
Pardon?
That culvert that you're referring to is near your address?
Yes, it is.
And did you get his address?
It's right there by the Wilbur Community Building.
Indian Territory?
No, he's right on Wilbur Road.
Yeah, but right in there,
Yep,
between there.
north of there, yes.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Okay,
I think
thank
we
you
got
very
it
much
to
for
the right
hearing
people.
hearing this. Thank you.
Any other items? I have, for the good of the county, I want to begin for the good of the county. I've already mentioned about Mr. Snick, population for the good of the county. I appreciate that a lot. But I also want, we have a new position in the county that the position is being held by a fine lady, Trish Reniger. Trish, you want to tell us a little bit about your position and what you're going to be doing? I know you're probably the first or second day on the job, but we're so glad to have you. I worked with Trish. She comes to us from the Kendrick Foundation up in Mooresville and does quality work. And I was thrilled to find out that you were going to be with us. So what you going to be doing?
Thanks so much, Don. That is a great question. I'm in my second hour in the job, so.
Second day, second hour?
Second hour of the job, so I'm super happy to be here. We do have new dollars coming into the local health department from the state, so that's our Health First Indiana dollars. So I'm just really excited to get to think about what we're going to do with those to help improve the health of our county.
Well, that is wonderful for the county to have you do it, know the background you have with public health as it is, and I'm looking forward to the progress that we make in something that's so important to all of us.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
Welcome
Be
to-
careful who you
welcome
sit
to-
with.
And sorry to embarrass you on your second day of the job,
No, thanks so much.
but we're so glad to have you.
One last thing you didn't happen to mention, Don, she's an experienced chinker on log cabins.
Oh,
Very much into Trails Greenway as well, so Trish, I can't thank you enough.
I didn't know
Sorry,
you did all these little skills,
I
Trish.
know, it's all thanks to Kenny, but that was a great day, great day.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Trish. We have any other for the benefit or I guess you say for the good of the county? Well, sure glad to see you all here today. Our next meeting will be the second Monday of this month the third Monday of this month. Thank you,
No,
Ken.
we're moving to Tuesday, President's Day, on the 20th. We're moving to the 20th.
So that'll be on a Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay. We always, a lot of stuff on Monday, isn't there? Jeez. All right, it'll be the 20th?
Yes, sir.
At 6:30, so you're all welcome to return, and good to have you here today. See a lot of friends and seen a lot of good folks out there. Thank you for all the council members that have been showing up, and the sheriff and the city. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned.
I don't know if you have to vote.